talk more about the nobody cares about you thing, but the good sides too. So a while back, quite a bit, I believe it was in 2018 or so, I made a video concerning nobody cares about you. And then later on, I believe when I was in Alaska, I made a follow-up video to it, basically expressing nobody cares about you, but there are exceptions, which don't disprove the rule. But there tend to be exceptions in regards to kindness. When I pursue a relationship, and relationship being anything, anything having to do with another human being, your internal relationship, because it's a bartering system. It's the exchange of value. You're exchanging what you have for what they have at any given moment. You talk to a human being, you're exchanging value. Right now, we're exchanging value. Questions, answers, exchange of value. Perspective, exchange of value. You get the point. So when I'm into a relationship, contractually or personally, professionally, I have to understand the potential of human beings. The potential. I don't like being surprised. And this is the part that separates me from a lot of people. I don't like being surprised by betrayal. I hate it. I hate it. It happened recently here at Canon where I went into something thinking a certain way and I came out on the other side realizing you knew better and you tried to think a certain way. You tried to think opposite of the way you typically think and it backfired on you. I try to give people the benefit. I try to see the good in people. And like, bro, you know that's not human nature. Human nature is not to be good to people, to random strangers. It's not what happens normally. Science tells us what occurs normally. Miracles do not defy science. Miracles are outside of science. That's how we're able to recognize them. We would not recognize a miracle if it looked like science. So when it comes to human nature, I don't like to call everyone evil or call everyone out to get me, but I have to stop and pause at the potential for everyone to be on true crime, to be on CNN, to be the next big criminal to do something. Because humans all have the potential to choose the wrong decision. It's called free will. A lot of us don't think we have free will. Cool. I've debated that so many times. Do you look both ways before you cross the street? Or is it really fate, or are you actually choosing what you decide to do? Am I choosing to go live, or was I always destined to go live? Was this a choice this morning to wake up at a certain time? Did I set my alarm clock at a certain time by choice, or was I destined? Was it fate that told me set your alarm clock at this time and get up at this time and wear this color and take a shower this morning? What was that, choice? Instincts? Was my subconscious programmed to do so? No, it's free will. It's free will. I'm narrating my life, but I'm also subconsciously reacting to my environment and to my past. And I still have a choice because when I get angry, I have a choice whether or not I respond in anger. Do I just react emotionally, or do I respond with the right decision? So, do people fundamentally or by default, do they care about you as a human? I would argue no. I would argue no. If you look for evidence that people just randomly care about you, there doesn't appear to be a lot of evidence for this. Now, what you will find occasionally, is kindness. Kindness is water flowing uphill. It does not happen without someone choosing to do so. It's whenever you see kindness, it's always a choice. Whenever you observe, whenever you experience someone being kind, it is always a choice. It's never naturally occurring. It's a human mind choosing to be kind. So you also mentioned the good sides. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. I do kind of know what you mean. So when I mention kindness, when I say nobody cares about you, the point of that statement is to program you to what humans are capable of, both good and bad. Both good and bad. I previously mentioned how I don't like being surprised by betrayal. I'd rather be surprised by kindness. That should be your default mode, is I'm surprised by your kindness. I go through life expecting people to be dangerous. I expect people to lie. I expect people to steal when given an opportunity. I expect people to make the wrong decision when given an opportunity. I expect people to be emotional. I expect people to seek pleasure in a given moment. I expect people to pursue what they want over what they need. You expect that. And occasionally, people will show you kindness. Occasionally. And when I go through my life, I'm surprised by kindness more often than betrayal because I expect betrayal. When you expect something and it comes, you're like, yeah, I knew at some point I knew you would try to lie on me. At some point I knew that you would choose your own interests above mine. That's normal. That's what occurs normally, man. But it's when it's flipped and you see the good in everyone and you expect everyone to be kind to you and you expect everybody to be nice and everybody to have your back and everybody to have your interests at heart, and then they betray you and you're surprised. All of a sudden your heart's broken. You know, there's a quote, your heart's never been broken. It's only been your expectations that have been broken. We put expectations on people that are not matching reality. You know, you're just bound for disappointment every time you put good expectations on people. Humans, by default, are selfish. Another word for selfish could be survival. We choose our own interests above everyone else's. I'm sure most of you watching have driven past a homeless person and barely flinched. Is that normal? Does that make you wrong? Does that make you evil to drive past or walk past a homeless person without even thinking twice? I'm sure your worldview would define that, but we have to pause at the fact that humans have a nature that is quite predictable. When left alone, when you observe somebody who thinks that nobody's watching, what do they choose? What do they choose? You're a slave to whatever you have to lie about, whatever you have to hide. You're a slave to that. And if most of us were completely honest, there's part of us that no one ever sees, including myself. Including myself. A lot of people who meet me in person outside of YouTube, they realize I'm a lot more goofier, a lot different than I am on here. It was 5:24 when we started the stream. I can't be the same person at 5 a.m. that I am in the regular person. No, at 1 p.m. or whatever, the regular world, whatever. I'm different. There's different sides of me everyone has that layer they peel off in certain environments. You know, we're all chameleons at some level. Some people turn to introverts, some people become extroverts in certain environments. It's different. Alcohol enters your bloodstream, and all of a sudden you see a different side of a person you never thought existed. That's normal. That's normal. So, I stand by my statement. Nobody cares about you, with the exception of those who show kindness. And kindness is not a frequent experience. It should be rare. That's what gives it value.